Hello, Leo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Leo, this week we're going to do a snapshot of you. We're going to see who you really are as a kind of like a guiding point there for me so I can see who you accurately are. And then we're going to see how other people perceive you, what most people misunderstand about you, how this affects you in relationships, and what is your greatest untapped potential right now. So I'm going to use the archetype deck I have here and my Modern Spellcaster's Tarot. So let's see, Pussycat Nation. Snapshot here of a Leo, who they really are, how others perceive them, what most people misunderstand about Leo, how this affects Leo in their relationships, and what is Leo's greatest untapped potential at this time. Oh, no, that's interesting. Everything, this one card ended up falling on the table. A martyr, but it fell in the light. It was upright. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. All right, no self-pity here, right? So, because there's no shadow. So, I just find this deck so interesting because I've never thought of a martyr in a light energy, but it shows up as that, right? Like it's giving us an explanation. So, understanding, I guess it's understanding that when we serve others, we serve ourselves, and also incorporating like how we've done that in the past through learning and developing wisdom around it. And, you know, recognizing what is for your higher good, what's not for my higher good. You're not going to get addicted to self-pity, which is interesting. So even when things don't go well for you, maybe even when you do find yourself in some ways servicing others or providing service to others, whether that's through work, relationships, if it doesn't go right, you're not one to sit in that and just be like, this is a great way to get attention, or this is going to be, I'm going to show everyone that I'm a friggin' victim here. And like, you know, okay, so that's not you. So how others perceive you. Oh, this came up in the, did it though? Actually, no, I flipped it wrong. Because I can see the next one is in reverse, which makes sense. Okay. As I'm reading these in reversal, I have to be really like strict with myself how I'm picking up the cards, because that matters, right? Okay, how others perceive you is a mediator. You have a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. I think it's really interesting because this light attribute of being a martyr fits into that really, really well. You may even find yourself in situations where you're supposed to be helping another, and you may even feel in some way here that it's compromising you. But you know what, people honestly see you as being really fair here, like trying to find a balance between, you know, helping others and then also, I guess, you know, healthy boundaries for yourself and looking after you. You can, you might even actually be like a mediator of some sort. You might be somebody who resolves conflict. You might be someone who works in a department somewhere where, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like maybe like a human resources energy. That's funny. I said human resources in someone else's reading the other day. I don't remember why or what, but that's funny. So it's kind of coming up with that too, like something like that. You could even have a couple of kids. Like you could be a parent, or you could have a couple of kids. You could have one kid, or you're just, I don't know. You're the person here that I feel like, okay, this one's not talking to that one, but you're talking to both of them. So what can you do here? Like people see that. That's how people perceive you, as this person to do that. Now, I gotta flip the cards properly. Okay. What most people misunderstand about you, you got the beggar energy in the shadow. It kind of makes sense, right? If this is something people are misunderstanding. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. That's what people misunderstand about you. Depending on others without making the effort. Oh. So I find these readings I have to sit in. I kind of like wrap my brain around it because I'm trying to absorb what the other stuff is too. Thinking, wow, this is deep. It gives us we need like a hot minute here to think about that. I want to see how that develops before I say anything more. How this affects you in your relationships. Okay, so this came out, and I picked it up the right way. This came out in the reverse. So God. Despotism and cruelty. Using power to control people. That's how it affects you in relationships. People see you as a meteor. I was about to say a meteor. That's odd. Why would I say that? There's got to be some reason that channeled out of my mouth. People see you as a meteor. Is there like a Leo meteor? Or maybe one of you sitting there. Maybe someone out there, their name is, you have the same name as a meteor? It's funny. Or when I think of a meteor comes in. So, okay, the kind of like the spiritual and religious, I don't know, religions. I kind of feel like religion is something that is more like in the last couple thousand years or so. So before that, it was just like spiritual and signs and look at it. So, you know, when people see a meteor, it usually heralds, it's like great news or bad news. I can't remember how that comes through. But I think it's a wonderful spectacle. It's a wonderful spectacle to see such a thing. But if a meteor crashes into a planet, it could cause catastrophic change too. You're kind of like a great spectacle that can cause catastrophic change in relationships. Oh my God, where's Larry? Because his tent's covered in birds. There's mourning doves out there now too. We're doing so great. Bird feeders here, guys. It's crazy. I just realized that I haven't seen a mourning dove in forever. I don't think I wasn't getting them at the other house. Everybody's here. Where's Larry? Where's Lily? Where's everybody? He's in the room right now. Huh. Anyways, they're all missing out. Okay. Something's happened here, right? Because you have the martyr and the light. I'm piecing it together. You got to bear with me. This is deep shit. So something's happened to you here where, and maybe it's happened to you a few times, or it's been happening to you for a long time, right? Where you do not want to get in the cycle of constant self-pity. I mean, come on, we all have pity parties once in a while. Can't imagine that there isn't a single person on the planet that doesn't like pity themselves at one point. Oh, my life. Oh. You know, he's not going to sit in that forever. It's like, it is what it is. And what can you do? But, you know, just do your best. Keep doing your best. It's kind of like who you are. That's who you are. People perceive you as a great negotiator, a good in-between, probably someone who can see both sides of different stories. Yeah, and you may even be someone that, you know, paves over arguments between other people. You find a good in-between. But what people misunderstand about you, it has something to do. Now, this could be about a specific situation. It could be about a specific situation. What's the light of this beggar? Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. I think it's easier for me to read that and say, okay, this is the thing that people misunderstand about you. You've had to engage in some type of physical survival. Whether that is finding yourself in an environment or conditions that started to create poor health for you, or you were, oh, here's a good one. For the move like 4 times in the last 3 years, right? So that is feeling like you're physically surviving. Like you physically have to pick up all your shit and put it into boxes and move, and move, and move, and move. Right? So it could be like something physical like that. Could be, I know, God, you know, my heart is going out to a lot of you. I'm noticing more and more people commenting who are watching me who are literally homeless right now. Y'all are living in like a tent, or you're living in your car. I mean, that's physical survival right there. So, but you're not having no fucking pity party. That's the thing about it. Oh, okay, now I'm piecing it together. I know some people get impatient with this, but I feel like if I really want to know the answer, I can't just look at it on the surface and move on. I have to try to understand it. So, okay, you've been through some type of physical survival here. And people, maybe people who don't know you well, or people who, you know, when I think about the misunderstanding area, it is kind of like, to me, we can see how people likely project, or we all project. How do we not project? I'm living my life and I understand it based through my own eyes, and I try my darndest to understand life through other people's eyes, but I can only ever lean into my own experience until I get to know something better, right? So, are people, is this, because the way this is showing up, the misunderstanding is people might think that you do pity yourself. You're like, oh, fuck me, oh, fuck my life. Oh. But this is no, because you're creating a transcendent nature to service yourselves and others through this experience. Awakening spiritual authority. And I want to say that's the authority you have on your own life. Compassion and self-esteem. Self-esteem. Because that's another thing. When people are struggling for physical survival, you may not always have it might not always be the best time for dignity and grace, you know, like, yeah. So, okay. Piecing it together. Now, how does it affect you in relationships? It came out in the reverse, and we must be getting a storm soon. It's crazy. I've never seen so many birds in my life right now. I don't know why Larry's not in his tent. I'm not kidding. It's crazy. It's distracting how many birds are out there. Despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. I think that this is how it shows up for you. Like, people use their power to try to control you because they may be seeing you in an unfortunate circumstance. Their own cruelty here. Their own cruelty. Which is a very animalistic, I feel, it's a very, like, kicking someone when they're down is a very animalistic instinct. So, right? And what is the point of that? It is to take advantage of whatever resource that individual holds, because I'm also trying to survive here. Physical survival. So, right? Because we can see this in animals. Lily will do it in a freaking second. She'll steal anybody's food because she's exercising through her own instinct and desire. I need to eat. You never know when I'm going to get the last meal. She's chunky, but, you know. And animals, if an animal is injured or wounded, that's the one that gets targeted, right? And that's, I don't know. So I feel like, right, if there's something going on here where you've had some difficulty, you could even be down and out, but you're not one to have a pity party on yourself. But it is affecting you in the sense that, people may see an opportunity here to kick you when you're down. What is your untapped potential? Well, 2 cards. Should I? 2 cards picked up instead of 1. They're both in the reverse. Child magical. Because they're in the reverse, I want to say this is a part of yourself here that is not being tapped into when I read the light. When I read the light. So, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. I don't think that's too hard of a stretch for you with this being who you are. Okay. Damsel. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Oh, I think the birds are trying to get in the house. Like turning into an Alfred Hitchcock movie. Okay. You all might be quite self-reliant. You might be becoming very self-reliant here. I think a lot of people might also see you as someone to solve problems for them. It's just easier that way. I'll get Leo to do it. Then I don't have to deal with it. Even if you're someone who like, you know what? I got a lot going on. I don't have time to fix your shit. You should fix your own shit. But I don't know. Every once in a while, my Aries Gemini just like, what? Well, listen, okay? Yeah, I see like a sense of strong self-reliance here. Or not. Maybe not, because that's what you're not leaning into, is the light. You're not leaning into the light, Leo. Come into the light. Seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things. The belief that everything is possible. So even, God. So the cards are saying, Spirit is saying, so even when you are like trying to just physically survive here, just recognize the beauty in it. I mean, yeah, I just feel uncomfortable saying that. It's not coming from me, okay? It's not. It's coming from Spirit. Because I know some of the circumstances that some of you guys are in. And I'm in no position to tell you that you should just notice the beauty in all of that, okay? This is coming from Spirit. I'm just making that known. I've been one of these. I'm like, I'm sitting between you and Spirit, okay? I'm just going to say, because I kind of have my own feelings on that one for you. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Huh? You got to do this for you. It's kind of like you got to do this for you. Got to do this for you, Leo, whatever that is, whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through, how you elevate yourself beyond it. You got to do it for you. You can't do it for anyone else. There. There, what's the bottom? I'm afraid to look. The femme fatale highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. I wonder, so some of you, wow, this is somewhere where you could find, I want to say, protection and nurture. Where you could find protection and nurture. But it's about not finding that in another right now. It's finding it in yourself. And maybe your dependency has been rejected by someone. Quite deep this is that. I love the mourning doves. I had a friend years ago who described them as, now this, I don't know. No, I probably have to watch what I say. The conversations that I have in regular life, they're fine. And then you go out and you say it in social media. And I'm like, yeah, that's not very nice. But, you know, okay, just the archetypal energy of, okay. She described the mourning doves in the bird world as the Suzanne Summers. They're so nice to look at, and they're just, but they're like, they don't seem to know what's going on. That's me myself in trouble. Actually, I think she's probably a fairly intelligent woman. Make a lot of money. Well, I don't know. It doesn't require intelligence. There are some geniuses out there that Okay. This is just like, I'm gonna have to make a video. You guys wouldn't believe how many birds are out there. It's crazy. Oh, the Six of Wands is who you are. You are success. Okay. You are. But here's the thing, like how you get that, it's kind of like everyone's in favor of it, you know, like it could be, you could have some important shit to say. You could even not just, I always get this, almost looks like somebody doing a news release and everybody coming in to listen. Oh, what is that? That's so interesting because you're transcending the martyr energy. Could be too, like breaking down the entire, that's funny. Who had that? Was it Gemini? The victim, persecutor, rescuer, little triangle there. Could be like just breaking that all down. And right, taking responsibility for yourself. So I want to say that you're not taking responsibility for yourself to rely on you. But I feel like it's something that maybe you're still developing it, if anything. Okay. So people perceive you as a mediator, which I find is very fascinating. The Eight of Cups. Emotionally detached. I mean, I think that would be a really good mediator. You're not emotionally invested in this, so this is how it is. Not emotionally invested. Detached. Now, some of you could have been mediators and now you're not. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not helping anybody resolve their shit. Okay. What most people misunderstand about you is confronting empowerment at the physical level. But right, confronting empowerment at the physical level. So you may have confronted needing to empower yourself in some sort of physical sense here, which to me just like feels like survival. When you're doing that, you can't do anything else. Like when you're just trying to survive, that's what you're doing. That's where the focus is. Because if you're not surviving, well, that's the end of the fucking game. So what's the point of the spiritual shit, right? Like, honestly. So, but this is like who you are. You're kind of like at this point. So there might be people who are just kind of thinking like you're still just physically just getting this stuff going, but you're kind of going beyond that point now where you're starting to get into a more spiritual aspect of victim, raising yourself up, and you know, okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Victim of circumstances. A lot of people may not understand your circumstances. Gosh, I feel like that is so true for so many people that are experiencing homelessness, and any, like, sometimes just certain circumstances that are out of our own control can take place here, and you may find yourself in a situation where you are just like trying to physically survive in some way, you know, and it's not just people experiencing homelessness, but it could be, you know, experiencing lack of income, or it could be experiencing living in a very toxic, abusive, unhealthy relationship, right? Like that is just trying to survive. So, you know, so many ways to look at that. But that honestly, what people don't understand about you is, kind of want to say a victim of circumstances, but this might also be why you are not going to be a martyr and have self-pity. Okay, so how this affects your relationships. This, I feel like there's something odd here where people may use their power to control you, or attempt to. People may see themselves in a stronger position of power and try to use that to control you. The Seven of Pentacles. Plan around you. I'm hearing plan around you. Plan around you to control you. What is your untapped potential here? Okay, I'm going to do one. You got two. You got the Child Magical in reverse. We got the Two of Cups. It came out in reverse. So not, that's interesting. Because then you have the Damsel in reverse. You get the King of Swords. What is the reversal? Okay. All right. Well, I feel like when the King of Swords is in reverse, This is kind of, for me, it's kind of leaning into the energy of having a self-belief system here that is not 100% true, but being like really, really grounded in that belief system. And, right? So it's got to change. Changing that belief system. Now, it's interesting because you have the Two of Cups, but you also have, you are pulling up like these indicators around relationships, like important relationships for you, whether they're romantic or otherwise. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. So the Shadow, waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. Yeah, so no, nobody's, oh, so this isn't, okay, because the self-pity party, you're not that. You're not the self-pity party. But it's almost like you're refusing, perhaps, to see that there are still heroes in life. You can be your own hero, but you can experience heroism through another person or with another person. How interesting. That's interesting. Heroism. Yeah, heroism. I guess it depends where you're from, how you want to say that. There can be heroes in your life, Leo. You definitely need to be one of them, right? We all do. We all need to be our own hero in our lives. But this is kind of telling me that you may have developed a belief system that you can be the only hero in your life. And Spirit's wanting to tell you that that's not true. That there are other heroes just like you out there who you will likely meet. And you can let them in. You can let them in to help you in whatever means that is, but still understanding and knowing that you are capable. You want to do it yourself. So whatever that is. Look at you, the Hermit, doing your own thing. Doing your own thing there. Wow. I'm going to go do the extended, Leo. That was a really interesting reading. When I add these archetypal cards, it really gives me, I need to spend a moment thinking about those. Okay, in the extended, I'm going to go into the Moonology deck as well as the tarot, and I'm going to see what cycle are you about to exit and what cycle are you about to enter. And I'm going to use which one are we going to use? I think I'm going to use the energy. No, this one is really this one. What did I pull up here? Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. Look how he's sitting upright looking at us. A rebirth is assured. Okay, so we're going to use this one. We're going to use this one to, as well as tarot, to look at how you can best tap into this untapped potential here for you. All right, there we go. Thank you so much, Pussycat Nation. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.